China is now furious at Taiwanese President Lai Ching-te for preparing a visit to Hawaii and the U.S. territory of Guam this week. China, of course, views Taiwan as historically part of mainland China, something the people of Taiwan do not agree with, nor should they. China is very much trying to reassert their unilateral vision that Taiwan is their territory, though its aggression in the Taiwan Strait and towards the United States. As a reminder, China continues to launch intermediate ballistic missiles over the U.S. territory of Guam, which is key to our security and our foothold in the Pacific. Bureaucrats at our Department of Defense and the mainstream media aren't going to talk about it, but we, of course, will continue to do so at One American News. Last week, Fine Point touched on this developing story with former Secretary Andrew Naggs. Now, we are going to bring down the perfect person to break down China's aggression with Frank Gaffney, host of Securing America and the chairman of the Committee on Present Danger China. Mr. Gaffney, happy belated Thanksgiving. Welcome back, sir.
To you. It's good to be with you. Thanks very much.
Of course. Do you think that China's aggression towards Taiwan will ultimately change once President-elect Donald Trump assumes office, or can we expect this posturing to continue to move forward despite the administration change that's coming forward?
Well, I'm not sure posturing is how I would describe what the Chinese are doing. I think what they're doing is they're positioning forces for, at a minimum, what they would call, I'm sure, a quarantine. The rest of the world would probably look at it as a blockade, if not actually an invasion. And my only concern about, the basic thrust of your question is this may already have played out in a very dangerous way before January 20th. And I'm fearful that what the Chinese have in mind is not confined to Taiwan or even Taiwan and, the South China Sea or the Western Pacific, but actually possibly action against us here in the United States as well. And that could be very, very dangerous indeed, given that what the Chinese have done, again, not in terms of posturing, but in terms of positioning, as I'm sure you know, is putting tens of thousands of People's Liberation Army personnel on the ground in the United States, thanks to Joe Biden's open border. That is a formula for very serious, conflict and chaos in our country if Xi Jinping, the Emperor of China, pulls the trigger.
Now, sir, obviously, part of the opening spoke about, obviously, the IBMs getting fired around Guam. Just for our audience who may not necessarily know, per se, why is Guam an important area that we need to be keeping our eye on? Why is China's interest over there? Can you break that down for people who may not necessarily be familiar as to why that's important?
Well, it's important strategically for a number of reasons. It's American territory. It has a concentration of American aircraft and ships and other personnel on it, and it is the closest of our territories to the mainland of China. Therefore, neutralizing that base, I think, would be part of any war plan the Chinese have. And again, I hope I'm wrong about this, needless to say, but I think what one can see taking place is a ratcheting up of military capabilities to neutralize that facility, the airfields, the harbor and so on, as well as quite possibly, to seize it with their own forces in due course, if not immediately. These are the sorts of things that I fear we're not talking about.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.